I think last time it somehow figured it out, but this time I think we don't have much luck. Let's first use PDF to do it. Okay. All right. So last time we talked about some math, some introduction, and we also talked about like how humans perceive life, and then how how we discover different colors of light, and we also introduced like an experiment to measure like how colors are constructed, okay, using this color matching experiment. Okay, and then we started to talk about color spaces. We said that okay, RGB color space is very well known and pretty common. However, it's not that useful for video compression because the importance of 3 different channels is the same. So we cannot do much about it. And then the most commonly used color space for video compression is YCBCR. And we said that for YCBCR, since the human eye is less sensitive to color changes, so if we perform video compression in YCBCR color space, we can separate luminous from cloudiness, and we know that cloudiness is related to colors. Okay, and then for luminous, it's for brightness, and then if we can separate them, we can compress more for calmness and preserve the whole thing for luminous. Okay, and then it can achieve efficient compression because we differentiate calmness and luminous based on their importance to human eye. Okay, all right. So that's that, and then we said that the color conversion is the first step of compression because we can already do compression on carbons, and then which we talked about chroma subsampling. We mentioned 4 different formats in YCBCR color space. There are 444, 422, 411, and 420. And like I said previously, 420 is the go-to format for video compression, where we have chroma resolution both horizontally and vertically, and it is used in standards like MPEG 4, MPEG 4, X.264, X.265, and beyond. And then we also talked about the calculation, how we can compute the file size stored in YCBCR 444 and 420 formats. And we said that for 420, it is referred to as 12 bits per pixel compared to like the format without compression or without subsampling, which is 12 bits per pixel. Okay, so we all know 12 bits per pixel, sorry, 24 bits per pixel, because each pixel takes 8 bits. So each channel takes 8 bits. So we have 3 channels, R, the red, green, and blue. There are 3 pixels, 3 channels. So in total, for a pixel, we need to use 12 bits. Okay, and then when we do subsampling using YUV420, then we kind of like make it half. Okay, so we get 12 bits per pixel, and then talk about how to calculate it here. All right, and then we start at the basic definitions. So since I checked the slides and then I make some refinement, so I will urge you to download the updated slides on Moodle today, so that you can get to see the latest content. Okay. So here, first I will talk about the intensity. Even though we use it quite often, I did not define intensity properly. Here, as you can see from the description, intensity refers to the rate at which radiant energy is transferred per unit area. So you can see from this description, it's more like objective, or we can control using some kind of power, and then it's related to like energy, the amount of energy, emitted from the device. Okay, in image science, we measure power of a specific range of electromagnetic spectrum, typically focusing on power radiated from incident upon a surface. So you can see the power, of course, is supplied by the power supply. Okay, and then using like a device to emit the light, and then we can calculate, like how much the energy transmitted onto a surface or upon a surface. Okay, so intensity is considered a linear light measure, commonly expressed in units such as watts per square meter. Okay, that's enough. You don't even need to memorize it. Just have some kind of concept of it. That's enough. You just need to know. Okay, for intensity, it's related to like objective like values. In a CRT monitor, which it's rarely seen right now. We always use like LCD display, but in the past we have CRT monitors. The voltages apply control the intensities of the color components. However, this relationship is non-linear. Okay, because the voltage levels are not directly proportional to intensity. Okay, so this is something that we need to address later. Okay. Next, luminance. Okay, luminance is another thing, but compared to intensity and luminance, you may think, okay, they are related. Maybe they are the same. No, they are not the same. Luminance is luminance. Colorless can also have intensity. Okay, so luminance is defined as radiant power weighted by a spectrum sensitivity function that aligns with human vision. So the important thing is that you align with human vision, or how humans perceive light. So it's bright, it's dark, something like that. So you talk about luminance, always talk about like how bright like something is. when luminance is proportional to physical power, similar to intensity, its spectral composition is specifically related to human brightness perception. Okay, so this is the difference. So we'll talk about the luminance. It's related to human brightness perception. It's not like color, it's just brightness, rather than raw energy transfer. Okay, you can see the difference. So we'll talk about intensity. It's not like directly related to like brightness. You can talk about like how saturated a color is, how much energy you spend, or how much energy you transfer. Okay, or the device the device uses the device emits the light. Okay, but the luminance is related to brightness perception. So luminance can be computed as a weighted sum, okay, of linear light, red, green, and blue primary components. Okay, that's something that we have already talked about previously. You can see that how we change RGB to YCBCR based on this kind of formula. I mean, formula itself is not important, but you can see that it's kind of like a linear transformation because it is achieved by matrix multiplication. So we said that matrix multiplication is linear. It's a linear transformation. So it's a linear. Here we reinforce the idea by telling you it's a weighted sum of the linear light RGB red, green, blue primary components. This weighted reflect the varying sensitivities of human eye to different colors. Okay, with green contributing the most, followed by red and blue. Okay, why green contributes the most? Why green contributes the most? Last time we talked about this, right? We said that, okay, this is like a sensitivity, eye sensitivity plot versus the wavelength. And you can see that the green here, green here, has the highest value, between green and yellow. Okay, so green here has the highest value of sensitivity to human eyes. So we said that, okay, human eyes actually is more sensitive to green. That's why, I don't know your experience, but my experience is that in the past, teachers or parents always told me, okay, you have to go outside and see green stuff like trees, grass, something like that. That would be good to your eyes. Okay, now I believe it because this, it would stimulate, you would stimulate your eyes more if you see like green colors. Okay, so that is that. And that's why, when you calculate luminance, as a luminance, you can say Y, right? When you calculate Y, you can see that, it weighted more for green component, followed by red and blue. Okay, that's why, because we want the luminance to catch like the brightness and the details. So, and then the green color contributes more in our aspect. Alright, but there's another line here saying that brightness is perceptual quantity related to human visual sensitivity. So it's not interchangeably, it cannot be interchangeably used when you say, alright, let's talk about luminance. And you can also say, oh, that's all about brightness, but in the theory, these two things are not different. Are different because brightness is a perceptual thing. You cannot measure it. Luminous, you can measure it. You can use like numbers to express it. Okay. Next, lunar versus luminous. And even though I said that luma is like an abbreviation of luminous, but they actually have like a slight difference between them. So luma in video coding, it's compute as a weighted sum of nonlinear RGB primaries. So nonlinear RGB primaries means they are gamma corrected. Or we're going to talk about gamma correction, in a second. And luminous, while it's a weighted sum of linear RGB components, represent actual light intensity. So there are differences between them. One is from the gamma corrected RGB, one is not. And why we need to correct RGB. So now let's move on to gamma correction. So the gamma correction, the reason why we need gamma correction is that the intensity of light generated by a physical device is not usually a linear function of the applied signal. So you apply like a voltage, right, to the device, and then the device will give you some response, and then you will emit a light and upon like a surface, and then you can calculate the intensity of it, right? However, it's not linear, which means if you apply more energy or more power, then supposedly you will have like a higher intensity, right? It's true, it's higher, but it's not linear. It's not like we apply like 5 times more, and then the intensity will also be 5 times higher. It's not like that, so it's not linear. Okay, so that means we need gamma correction to make sure that it is linear. Okay, so we want to use gamma correction to ensure accurate brightness and color reproduction aligned with human visual perception. Display devices like CRT monitors exhibit a nonlinear relationship between the input voltage and the resulting light intensity, like I said. So it's not linear. Even though you apply more voltage, like higher voltage to the device, you will get the higher intensity, right? But like I said, it's not linear. So specifically, the light intensity produced by CRT is proportional to the applied voltage raised to the power of approximately 2.5. Okay, here I give you the relationship between them. So I is proportional to V to the 2.5. Okay, the exponent is referred to as the device damping. Okay, let me show you the graph. Let me show you the plot. So you can see that the plot here, the x-axis of the plot is video signal, the voltage. Okay, like you can say this voltage, and the y-axis is the luminous, and these 3 curves are the actual relationships between luminous and the voltage. So they are curved, they are not line, and we said that line is linear, right? This means that when we apply more voltage to the device, it does not give you like the same amount of the increase of the voltage compared to the luminance. So the luminance will not increase by the same amount of the voltage increase. Okay? That's why we need gamma to adjust the voltage so that we can get the linear relationship between them. Okay, so to achieve accurate image reproduction, it's necessary to compensate for the nonlinearity. Gamma correction applies an inverse transformation to the input signal before it reaches to the display. So we apply the inverse transformation to the input signal means that we're gonna increase the voltage so that we can get the linear response from the luminance. Okay? It counteracts display nonlinearity by adjusting the signal with a gamma value of approximately 1/2.5. Right? It's here. It's like here. How we're gonna do it? We're gonna counteract it by using the gamma value 1/2.5 to ensure accurate image reproduction. Okay, and then here I explain that the graph shows a video signal from 0 to 700 MB, where black is total 0 and the white is total 255 in an 8-bit digital to analog converter on the frame buffer card. Okay, so you may wonder how this is achieved. Then I'll show you the gamma correction curve is here. This tells you that how you're gonna adjust the luminance. In a video system, gamma correction transforms linear light intensity into nonlinear video signal, typically applied at the camera. So when luminance is less than 0.018, you're gonna multiply 4.5 to the L. And then if it's larger than 0.018, you're going to use this formula. And then you can see that that means you want to reach 0.2 for luminous. How much energy do you need, right? And then I can show you the example here. So on the left, this figure is presented without gamma correction. Okay, you can see that the scene is a little bit darker, right? We cannot see all this thing clearly, and that's because when we apply the same voltage, it will result in like a lower luminance, right? When we want to say, okay, let's use 300, we assume that it can give us the luminance of like 60 something, but in reality, it gives us like less than 10. So it makes it darker. And then you can see the curve here. This is, again, the luminance versus energy plot, and the actual relationship between them is this curve. It's a solid line curve. When we want to apply 0.5 energy, we want it to present 0.5 luminance. However, it's not the case. It gives us 0.218. Okay, so lower the luminance, the lower the brightness. So it becomes darker. And the gamma correction is to compensate this discrepancy between 0.218 to 0.5. That's what we need. We want to correct it. We want to know how much energy we need to apply to the device so that we can reach 0.5. So even though we initially give like a parameter 0.5 wattage, but we need to calculate it based on gamma correction to know how much energy it actually needs to reach its 0.5 lumens. Okay, so E, the energy equals 0.5, and then after gamma correction, it counteracts the gamma value 2.2, so that we calculate the required energy to the luminance of 0.5 is 0.5 to 1 over 2.2, right? And then it gives us 0.73. The 0.73 is the actual, energy we need to use to get the luminance of 0.5. So that's why when we turn the gamma correction on, the seeing looks much brighter than that without gamma correction. Because now that's what we want. That's what we actually want. We supposedly we want to calculate the voltage directly, but you know that the voltage would not give us the expected luminance, so that we need gamma correction to counteract this effect, so that we can calculate the actual energy we need to, get the luminance, luminance we expected. So after gamma correction, we know that the energy needs to be amplified, so that we can reach the expected luminance. Okay, and then if you have time or have and curious about it, when you go home, you can take your control, remote control, to see if you can find the setting of gamma values. Okay, let's try to play with this. So we set different gamma values and just try to see what's going on with the scene or the image or the brightness in general. Okay, so that's our gamma correction. So we need gamma correction to correct the relationship between the luminance and energy, and we want it to be in here. Okay. All right. So that's gamma correction. All right. Another thing I want to talk about. One thing is surround effect. Okay. What is surround effect? The typical gamma value is around 2.2, but it varies based on display settings and viewing conditions. So 2.2 may not be the right choice for you, because you also need to consider your surroundings. So the surrounding lighting, the surrounding lighting is important for your visual, for your viewing experience. So here there are several settings for you. For sRGB standard, it uses gamma 2.2, and for broadcast TV, it's around 2.2 as well. For frame industry, it's 2.4. Why? Because in the frame industry, people, or the audience usually will be seated in a very dark cinema, right? You're in the cinema, it's usually pretty dark. I don't have any experience of watching a movie in a cinema with the lights on. I can only see the movie, right? Without that, so the surrounding lighting is dark, it's dimly lit. So you need to have set like a higher gamma to compensate it more. Okay, so you want to make it brighter because you are in the dark environment. That will make you more sensitive to light changes. So you want to set the light higher so that you can sense the difference. All right, and next, Max systems. So it previously used gamma 1.8. Yeah, so it's pretty old. It's pre-2009. HDR displays is more complex with structural quantizer instead of fixed gamma. So it means that it's not like a fixed gamma. You may change. It will be okay, for different views, you change the gamma or change the setting accordingly. For television viewed in dim environment, like I said, for television or when you watch movies in a cinema, you view the video or the image in like a dim environment. Okay, simultaneously contrast is considered to enhance the visual experience. What is simultaneous contrast? So for simultaneous contrast, it means in dimly lit rooms. So dimly lit means a darker room, like in a dark room. The eye perceives shadows more deeply, more darker, and highlights more intensity, more brightly. In a darker room, you will be more sensitive to the light, so that when you have a small amount of light, you'll see, oh wow, it's so much brighter than it is in like a well-lit room. Okay, but when you see like shadow, like something dark, it will become even much darker because you're in a dark room. Okay, to compensate television lenses, okay, we need to use a slightly higher gamma for a more neutral appearance. You use higher gamma, you compensate it more, right? That means you want it to be a little bit brighter, okay? This ensures a better balance between dark and bright areas, preventing the image from looking washed out. So washed out is like a pale, view. So for washed out, it means that it comes from like washing, doing laundry, washing clothes, and then everything is kind of like become pretty gray, pretty white. It's washed out. Okay, so you want to prevent it from looking washed out. That means you want to balance the dark and bright areas. So you don't want them to be all white or too bright. You want to ensure the contrast is good. Okay. All right. So that's simultaneous contrast. In different surrounding lightings, you need to set gamma differently to strike the balance between the dark and bright areas. Okay? So take a look at the example on the right hand side. You can see that the small squares placed side by side horizontally, they are of the same color. What do I mean? It means this, and this has the same color. Okay. Sorry, I don't have a clear pointer. This and this actually have the same color. This two has the same color. This two has the same color. So when they place side by side horizontally, it means that they are of the same color. But when you take a look at them, considering the surrounding effects, so the surrounding is bright here, which makes this darker, right? Darker. And then when you place it with the black surrounding, you make the bright. You make this brighter, right? Brighter. So the colors here are much brighter than colors here. However, they are the same. So that's the surround effect. When you remove the surroundings, then you will see that they are actually the same color. But with the surrounding lightings or surrounding colors, you will be tricked. Your eyes will be tricked by the surrounding color, so that you will have different perceptual experience of these colors. Okay. So you can read the text here. The 3 gray squares surrounded by white are identical to the 3 gray squares surrounded by white, right? But the contrast of the black surrounding series appears lower than that of the white surrounding series. Okay? So yeah, that's what it means. Alright. Those are the explanations or the definitions. Now we move on to human visual perception. So human eyes can tolerate some types of information loss, allowing for efficient data compression. So this is the key of the video compression, because we want to treat the human eyes to perceive the video, or to perceive videos. We want to get rid of things that are less sensitive to the human eye.